by Alhaji Bawumia to revive his political career after leading the New Patriotic Party to its most embarrassing political defeat. That is what is happening. And once again, you're having the entire NPP machinery rallying behind him to give him an unfair advantage over persons who desire or intend to contest him in the upcoming presidential primaries.
They do a thank you tour after every election.
But listen to what the programs they are holding across the country. Who are they meeting? They are meeting their party executives. They are not meeting Kenyans. And what are they telling them? Do you hear any thank you messages? No. We hear Bawumia playing Pontius Pilate, blaming everybody for the embarrassing defeat except himself, attempting to distance himself from the very government that he served as vice president of for 8 years and head of economic management team. Everyone is guilty except Bawumia. That is what is happening there. So for me, what is happening is a charade of a thank you tour. It is just a desperate attempt by Bawumia to revive his political career at all cost. And he's succeeded to marshal the entire party machinery behind him. And that is why Kennedy Japan decided to tag along, gate crash what they had planned to do, and also assert himself as a potential leader of the party. But in all this...
Is he blaming everybody except himself?
Yes.
One of the headlines I read said, "We admit our mistakes. We will fix them." He tells the people, Nigeria Online reported, "You have spoken well, and we have heard you. We'll do something about it." He says, "Posterity will vindicate Akufo-Addo's, good leadership, among others, good works, among other comments. President Kufuor and the NPP were vilified after 8 years of rule. But today, President Akufo-Addo is a celebrated former president. I am certain that with time, posterity will vindicate NPP and President Akufo-Addo." This is him talking on the...
Bawumia has adduced reasons for the embarrassing defeat that the NPP suffered, which reasons, according to him, is backed by empirical data. And all those reasons border on the omissions or commissions of persons other than himself. He says that, number one, they lost because of high cost of living, occasioned by economic mismanagement, DDP, fuel price increases that he himself was not even aware.
Except he didn't add economic mismanagement.
Oh, but if he's talking about they losing because of high cost of living, what could have led to that? Prudent economic management doesn't lead to unbearable cost of living. So that goes without saying. Then Samson, he says that they lost because of arrogance of power.
That's right.
And when he was giving examples of arrogance of power, he left himself out. He didn't blame himself for dancing off beat to Owosisifianibi when Ghanaians were complaining that times
he kept using we. That includes him.
You see, look at the details of the reasons he gave. He can say we, but in the long run, you see him clearly blaming others but himself. Okay? Now he says that they lost power because of arrogance of power. And that is what we were telling them all along. You had cause to advise them. I recall several takes of yours on this very platform where you had cause to caution them. They will not just listen. Now 4 months in opposition, Bawumia has repented. He now knows that they lost because of arrogance of power.
Yeah, he says, these are his words. "Forgive us our lapses. We will do better next time."
Oh, okay.
That's being remorseful.
Remorseful.
That's being collective responsibility.
I see. And even in doing that, he's making more commentaries that are more arrogant than some of the commentaries that send them into opposition.
Like what?
Today he says that the economy is doing well because of what they did in power. So in 8 years, the economy didn't do well. The economy was in a mess.
You said,
we all know the state of the economy at the time they were living on.
You said for
today the economy,
the period that the economy was stable and doing well was because of the IMF that you signed on to.
Yes, supported.
So they are playing the same thing back to you.
No, supported by empirical evidence. The evidence in 2016 was to the effect that because 2 additional oil streams had been brought on stream by President Mahama, the oil and gas sector was going to grow by 84%, and as a result of that, we're going to achieve a growth rate of almost 8%, and that was predicted in 2016 by the EIU. In their case, they missed all the IMF program milestones. They missed it. And the IMF itself conceded that fact. They have publicly stated that fact. So you cannot equate the two. But you see, what is playing out is testament to the fact that the NPP has not learned any lessons and are not ready for power. And I have no doubt in my mind that they are going to remain in opposition for a very, very long time.
You know, they used to say what you just said.
Oh, yes. But when they were saying that, they were not acting accordingly. And that is why they suffered the most embarrassing political...
They championed one of the most transformational, economic policies, education.
Oh, please.
Okay, and still they lost.
The verdict is out there. The people of this country who were supposed to be the beneficiaries of that so-called policy passed a verdict of no confidence in them. They lost overwhelmingly, resoundingly. Look, okay. The reason why I say that they are not ready for power, and I'll end here, I don't intend to drag this matter at all, is that even in opposition, these guys are fighting over 1,000 Ghana cedis and stabbing themselves in the process. My goodness. A party that left power barely 4 months ago. A party that, candidates who were vying for their presidential candidature were distributing money like granite to them when they went for their primaries sometime in 2023, 2024. We saw money flowing, fridges flowing, television sets. Today you are fighting over 1,000 Ghana cedis. And they are so inhumane, so wicked to stab themselves. Now, so if you are a young Ghanaian watching me, ask yourself that even NPP young men in the university, they are stabbing them with knives, butchering themselves. Then you, what hope do you have? What protection, safeguards can you have in this political party? So clearly these guys are not ready for power. And the NPP today are showing, they are exhibiting all the trappings of a party in the state of comatose. The center cannot hold. There is no elder. They have no respect for anybody. Abronya and Kennedy Japan are all over the place. Sorting themselves and all that. That is not what Ghanaians need. Ghanaians need a government who will come put the right policies in place for us to see the cedi gaining stability like we are seeing now. Fuel prices coming down like we are seeing now. The dollar rates coming down like we are seeing now. That is what Ghanaians voted for, and that is what they are getting. And so as for them, they can continue stabbing themselves.
Okay.
Show that.
All right.
You are not that.
Dr. Thierry Champong, thanks for joining us. Let me be sure if I have your feed very clear.